So The Rock and Kevin Hart are in a DC superhero movie now about the superheroes' pets. Keanu Reeves is in it too. DC's League of Super Pets is brought to us by directors Jared Stern and Sam Levine, and stars Dwayne "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Kate McKinnon. He'll always be The Rock to me. Krypto the Superdog and Superman are inseparable best friends, sharing the same superpowers and fighting crime side by side in Metropolis. However, Krypto must master his own powers for a rescue mission when Superman is kidnapped. So DC's League of Super Pets, henceforth known as Super Pets, is an animated superhero adventure featuring the superheroes that we know, such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc's pets. Actually, it's about how the League of Super Pets was formed, but still, it's their pets. We mainly follow Krypto and Ace, voiced by Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart respectively. When the Justice League is kidnapped by a homicidal guinea pig, yeah, you heard that right, and Krypto the Superdog loses his powers, he enlists the help of some new super pets headed up by Kevin Hart, Vanessa Bayer, Natasha Lyonne, and Diego Luna. And family-friendly antics ensue. And that's about it. That's pretty much the story of this movie. I mean, what were you really expecting here? Come on now, anybody who goes into this movie knows what you're getting, and what you think you're getting, yes, that is exactly what you're getting. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but we're not getting anything like really groundbreaking or anything here. We're just getting a pretty solid, fun, and funny at times family flick. I did enjoy this movie. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it. I had a pretty good time with it. Now, my 8-year-old daughter, who I took with me to this film, she absolutely loved it, and it sounded like all the other kids in the audience, they loved it too. So I will give the movie that. It knows its target audience, and it hones in on that, and it serves its target audience what they want. Were there some times throughout the film that I wasn't as entertained as everybody else in the audience? Yeah, sure there was, but at the same time, I understand that this movie wasn't totally made for me. Yeah, sure, there's some stuff there that I had a good time with and I can enjoy, but this movie wasn't made for an early 40s male in mind. So I'm not gonna hold that against it. However, I will let you know that if you are of the older persuasion and you go to see this movie, just be prepared. While yeah, there are some entertaining moments and it's not like ever boring or anything, this movie's probably not for you. I gotta say though, Natasha Lyonne's Merton and Kate McKinnon's Lulu are the best parts of this entire movie. There's a few boundaries that are pushed here or there in the film, and it is these two characters that push them repeatedly. We get some saucy language in the film, and when I say saucy, I mean they're just straight up cussing, like dropping the big cuss words. However, the way that it's typically done is that the human characters in this movie don't really hear the animals talking, they just hear like dogs barking, cats meowing, and that kind of thing. We hear them speaking, so right when they're about to drop that S-bomb or F-bomb, it switches over to their little meow meow meow, ruff ruff ruff, squeak 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 kind of thing. And admittedly, this gag, while kind of juvenile, did work for me. I guess that says a lot about me. There are also a few times throughout the film that some language is used and the movie just straight up beeps it out. I mean, they don't change what the person's saying, they don't like put in like barks and meows or anything like that. No, it's just like an old school TV beep. And oddly enough, this garnered an even bigger laugh from me while watching this movie. You're just not expecting it. You're sitting there watching this animated kids movie that is very much directed at children, and then you have like this little gerbil drop a F-bomb. A F-bomb. That's kind of redundant, I think. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that the movie is entertaining. Yes, it is directed at a younger crowd. While this is a family film, I would say it skews more to the younger side of the family than, say, all of the family. But it does have its comedic moments and entertaining moments that an older crowd can at least enjoy. It's not gonna be your favorite movie of the year or anything if you're an adult, but you'll have a good enough time taking your kids to see this movie. It's not one of those kids movies you go and see and you're just like rolling your eyes the whole time, just hoping and praying the credits are gonna roll any moment. On the voice performance side of things, everybody turns in those performances that you expect from them. Dwayne Johnson is doing his Dwayne Johnson. If you like the guy in other films, you're gonna like his performance here. Kevin Hart, I will say, is a little bit different. He's a bit more subdued, especially when it comes to that Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart dynamic. They've been in quite a few movies now, and they work very well off of each other. This time around, though, it seemed as if Hart was a bit more subdued. It's like he was playing an older character, if you will. He was still funny, and he still did have his Kevin Hart moments, but much of the film, much of this character, Ace, is a bit more toned back than we usually get from Hart when he's in a Dwayne Johnson movie. Their banter back and forth also, while it did work, it wasn't quite as high energy as we're used to from these characters. I don't know if that was due to the material, or if it was due to the fact that I think that this movie was made during the pandemic, so they probably weren't even in the same room when they were speaking, so they weren't really bouncing things off of each other, they were just reading lines. All that being said, the two guys still did a very reliably good, entertaining job. There's a slew of other big names in the flick, such as John Krasinski as Superman, Keanu Reeves as Batman, Ben Schwartz as the Flaming Gerbil, etc. However, as mentioned a moment ago, Kate McKinnon and Natasha Lyonne are the best parts of this film. Anytime these characters were on screen and they were doing their thing, I was laughing my ass off. Now, the visual style of this movie is different. It's not bad, but it's not like realistic looking. It is very much an animated film. Now, all that being said, it's not really the best looking animation in the world. It doesn't look terrible or anything like that, but it does have an air of budget about it. And that could have just been an artistic choice, I don't know, but it doesn't change the fact that it doesn't quite look like a theatrical release type of animation. It looks more like a straight to streaming type of animation. Not a huge knock or anything, but it is something I noticed. Guys, overall, Super Pets was a harmless, entertaining family flick. Would I want to watch this movie by myself? Probably not, but if you're gonna sit down with the kids for the evening and watch a flick, this is not a bad choice. While it definitely does skew towards the younger side of your family, there are some jokes and entertaining moments in this for the older crowd as well. Even though some of the voice work does kind of seem like it's a bit disconnected at times due to the way they probably had to film it, overall, they're pretty solid. And the aesthetic choices they made, while not quite up to the level of the animated features we've gotten lately, they're okay. Overall, Super Pets is an entertaining little family flick that is totally worth checking out on streaming.
Across the street.
If you got young kids, check this movie out. They'll have a great time with it, and you'll laugh at the juvenile adult humor. Or at least I did. So there it is, guys, my review of DC's League of Super Pets. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits that go along with that, like these guys. And possibly check out my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Silverlock and Marge G. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Metropolis.
What do I have here?
Squeezy Bruce!
Fetch!
That better be a licensed toy or I will freak out.
I forgot to mention it in the review, but there's a homicidal kitten in this movie that is just funny as hell. I mean, that was one of the best parts of the film. I could probably go back and insert this earlier in the video somewhere. It's not really that hard, but yeah. Probably not going to. Just not going to exert that kind of effort. Plus, I couldn't think of anything else to put here at the end, so yeah, this is what you're getting. Homicidal kittens. It was good.